What's up, everyone, and welcome to the We're From the Valley podcast. I'm Sam Aparicio, and my guest today is one of my oldest and dearest friends, Arnie Bernal. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, man?
we finally made it happen.
I know.
You've been back and forth, you've been around, and you're finally here. I'm really excited about it. So for those of you that don't know Arnie, he is currently the drummer for Scarlett O'Hara. And, dude, you guys are just killing it right now. Back and forth, traveling. You just got back from Louder Than Life Festival. We'll talk about that. You are working on some really cool stuff right now. You did some shows, which we'll talk about. But before we get into that, I do want to talk a little bit about like how we know each other and how we came to like become closest friends. So shoot, man, we've known each other since the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's when I met you.
Yeah, 6th grade.
We weren't like close then, but that's when I did meet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because we had mutual friends and stuff like that. And I think probably 7th, 8th grade was when we started getting closer. 8th grade was when we started playing together, right? You got your first drum set at, was it 8th grade, 7th,
yeah.
12, 13?
It was 7th or 8th grade, I think.
That's crazy. Do you remember that drum set?
Yeah, it was $300.
It's crazy, man. So yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, dude. It's been a long time. So 8th grade, we started playing together. We started the band in what, freshman year.
Yeah.
We started playing with Far From Peril. That's where we met Dex, who was the other guitarist in the band, and we just had some really good times, dude, playing here at local shows. I was having dinner with JJ Juarez this past weekend, and he was like, dude, do you guys remember playing like all of these shows like in San Benito and like Harlingen? And like I was like, dude, yeah, those were so fun. Like, not that McAllen wasn't fun, that was always a blast, but for some reason
just being able to travel,
being able to leave McAllen, but also like seeing new people and people being like, dude, like you guys are so good, or you know, you guys are awesome, and just being able to get that support from people who you barely know is awesome. We had some really good friends out there that were in those bands. Like, do you remember Artificial Friend? Shout out to those guys. Thanks to them, dude.
You remember the name? Oh man, like
because we were talking about this, like JJ and I, like, dude, like those guys were super friendly. They were always really cool. Like, really missed that time. Like, we just had so much fun being out there. And do you remember people would be like, dude, who are these kids? Do you remember that? Because we were what, 16 maybe 15 when we started the band. Who are these kids? And Dexter's dad would drive us to the shows.
He drove us to San Benito, I think, one time.
And to Harlingen too.
Yeah.
I remember we're driving in the Suburban, and we have all of your drum gear in like the center, and we're sitting in the back. Those are the kind of stories that I live for, man. We had so much fun getting to do that. And so anyway, that's just a little bit about, you know, our background. And what I do want to talk about is, you know, you just got back from Louder Than Life Festival. Tell us about that festival. What does it entail, and what did you get to see and do there?
So Louder Than Life Festival was great. It was 4 days long, from the 21st to the 24th, I believe, of September. So we got on the bill, and we were going to be on day 3. So that was the day, you know, Kiss was going to headline and Alice Cooper was going to co-headline. So, you know, I already knew that it's going to be awesome. But we actually went all 4 days, you know, to enjoy it. And, you know, it was just so much fun. It was very well organized. It was thrown by DW Presents. You know, they actually did get us on the bill. They got us on the bill at Welcome to Rockville last year. And we've been doing like Twitch competitions on their stream on Twitch, and we've been doing really good. So, you know, we're kind of building that relationship with DW Presents. So a lot of fun.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. Highlight of the festival. Or who you got to see, or tell us first like who you got to see, but like the bands that were like, dude, that was just awesome.
So I love Spirit Box, so that was my second time seeing them. My first time was at Welcome to Rockville, and like we had shown up as like they were starting to play, so
legit.
Like I just like ran, you know, to catch their set, and so that was a lot of fun. That same day on day 1, I saw Bring Me the Horizon at night. They played around. Oh, you know who they were playing at the same time as Tenacious D with Jack Black. So like, you know, it was like I wanted to catch both, so like I caught like Bring Me, and at the very end, like I was like, you know, Randy, me and Moses were like.
So you did get to see a little bit of both.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of like just the ending of Jack Black's set, but it was a lot of fun. Evanescence. I
You're
saw
kidding.
that. Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. How was that show?
It was awesome. I remember they were playing My Immortal, and the girl next to me was crying, and because it's such a nostalgic.
Oh, dude, it's powerful.
Yeah, so it's like, wow, that's so awesome. Nothing More, which that wasn't the only show that we went up to play. We actually
you guys opened up for them.
Yeah,
previously, right?
Like a week before in New York, we had opened up for Nothing More, and they I mean,
when you told me you were playing with them, I looked them up, and I didn't really know much about them. But dude, the shows that they throw and the crowds that they pull is incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like it has to be one of the best like live, rock performances I've seen in a long time. They have gadgets that they use on stage, and the singers moving around a lot, so it's a lot of fun to watch.
So that was in New York before Louder Than Life.
Yeah, that was about a week before. They had like a 2-hour set that night in New York.
That's
so
a lot.
Yeah,
wow.
It was a lot. So I was so impressed, and I like their music. They're on Octane a lot. I do enjoy their music, but just being there and seeing their live performance was incredible. And so they impressed me so much that I saw them again at Louder Than Life, just because they're amazing. So
who else was on that bill? The one in New York with Nothing More.
Sleep Token. They're actually from England, and they're up and coming, and they're really good. They have a whole new album out.
Okay.
And so it was really cool because Alec had showed me who they were a few weeks before we played, and showed me some of the stuff off their new album. I was like, wow, these guys are so good. And just being able to meet them, in person and see their stuff, it's just incredible where music can take you.
Yeah, no doubt. It's awesome when you get to connect with bands like that, right? We all come from different backgrounds and stuff like that, and kind of with the same goal. Like we all just really want to play our music, and that's freaking awesome, dude. So I know that you also were playing some other shows on the road before Louder Than Life. You guys were out with Scarlett Drive, Alesana. Tell us about that show. How did that go?
Yeah, so that was literally the day after we played with Nothing More.
Okay.
In Elmira, New York. I think the drive was about 5 hours to Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
So, man, as soon as we finished playing, we stayed for the whole show at Nothing More. It was awesome. We had a great time. Got back to the hotel, slept for like 5-6 hours, and I got everybody up. I was like, hey, we need to go. The show in Providence.
Are you the mom when you go on the road or what?
Yeah, I would say me and Logan.
Okay.
Yeah, because we gotta because if you're not careful, you get too relaxed, and you start missing. You can be late on certain things.
Sure.
Of course you don't want to do that. So that was a big show because it was about the bill had like 8 or 9 bands, I think.
Holy crap!
So it was like an early check-in, so had to get everyone up early, and the GPS is always fun in the Northeast. It kind of always throws me off for whatever reason. I can be anywhere in the country and it'll work fine, but for whatever reason in the Northeast, like sometimes I have problems with it. So there was a delay, and but we got there, and I saw Jag, and that was great to see him again from a Scarlett Drive, and that was, I think that has to have been my first time seeing Alesana live. I don't think I've ever seen them live before.
Dude, we saw them at the VFW in McAllen. What are you talking about? When they toured with Bless the Fall.
Oh, they were on that bill.
Do you remember what was that album? On Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax.
Yeah, okay.
That was when they were touring that was 2006, 2007.
Wow. Dude, yeah, that's, oh my God.
And it was at the VFW, and you and I were there, and it was Alesana, it was Bless the Fall, 4 Letter Lie, dude.
Yeah.
You remember that band
I
for
remember,
sure.
Yeah.
They were so good.
That was like 16 years ago.
Yeah. I saw them again afterwards. They played at STC. I don't know if you came to that one. They played at STC.
I know I saw Scarlett Drive at STC.
We saw Scarlett Drive at STC, yes, and that was incredible. But I saw Alesana. I don't know if you were there at that one. But Alesana played, and that's when they were, I don't know, their music was starting to get heavier, progressively.
Yeah.
And when they played at STC, it was amazing. But Dude, either way, both times was really fun getting to see them. So, okay, you saw them over here, and how was the experience? I mean,
it was great because I didn't even remember that I had seen him with you.
So it was Sana. It was a Scarlett Drive. You got to see Jag, which was cool. You mentioned that he remembered you from when you guys had toured back in the day with them. What year was that you guys toured with them?
2011.
2011?
Yeah.
Dude, holy crap. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
No, I actually think it was 2010. November of 2010.
Was that Picnic Partery?
No. No, that was the...
Picnic Partery was with What Was Me?
Yeah. Yeah, What Was Me, Dropped It Gorgeous, Attila.
Yeah, okay, Attila, yeah.
Sleeping with Sirens as well. And the other one with Scarlett Drive was the Not Your Average Hair tour, something like that. Yeah, with Motionless in White.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me about this, dude. That had to be 2010, 2011 because I was still a freshman at Texas State and I was still in my dorm and you were like, dude, listen to Motionless in White. And I was like, bro, who are these guys? But they were legit.
Yeah.
They were, golly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They had like a very, like their style was so interesting. Like they would like dress up and everything, right? They would like
very gothic style. They nailed it. I mean, they're awesome. I love it.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's the last time I saw Jag, and we saw each other again, and it was a lot of fun to catch up.
It's crazy that it was over 11 years ago, 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah,
that's gnarly. And they're still doing well. The Scarlett Drive.
Yeah, they're actually on the same management that we are on. So it's Pinup Management. So
gotcha.
We might be working together a lot soon. So we don't, you never know. So
that'd be awesome.
We do that, that'd be awesome, of course.
yeah, that's crazy. So so now that you guys are back, right now you guys are just resting, working on new material.
So we were in Nashville in August. So we're recording about 3 songs there, and it was, man, I'm so happy because that studio session that we had there that week of August was some of the best stuff that we've ever made, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. So yeah, we did that in August. We had the shows in September in New York, the Loud of the Live Festival. So yeah, when we're off like this, we kind of don't have anything planned for the rest of the year. Everything's going to be at the beginning of next year. So this is kind of where we're all working, saving money, whatever whatever the case is.
That's one of the things that people don't realize is that music, you're doing that, but you're also working. You guys have full-time jobs.
Yeah. So I do car transports when I'm not on the road, but I really.
And you've been doing that for a while now.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
What year do you think you start? Did you think you started that?
Doing that 2012.
Golly.
Yeah.
And you would drive a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you're so used to driving on that. But I mean, you like that. You like the long drives and stuff like
so
that.
I drive my band everywhere.
How long have you been? So what a lot of people don't realize is that you pretty much started touring 17, 18, straight out of high school, right? And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is, so we graduated 2010, right? May of 2010. I remember I went up to San Marcos. I was at Texas State, and you were like, dude. So, okay, do you remember senior year? We had that lock-in, the No Siesta Fiesta.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to have the lock-in where we're at the school all night, and then they would take us to either the bowling alley or the skating rink, and you're like, dude, I can't do it because we're driving up to Portland when you guys were gonna record some tracks.
Lost in Existence.
You were recording the album.
Mm-hmm.
When people don't realize, you were still 17, right? Because we graduated in May and you didn't turn 18 until August, which is crazy, dude. How was that? Tell us about that experience.
It was a really good experience. I liked working with Chris Crummett on the drums.
Tell us a little bit about the bands that Chris Crummett has worked with.
Oh man, it's been a while. But from what I know, it was Dance Gavin Dance, bands like Alisana, just very, the old school, stuff that we used to listen to back then. So I was excited, to record with him, and it was a lot of fun.
It's crazy that we call Screamo old school, right? That was 2008, 2009, when that that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so...
so you guys went out to Portland, and you were there for a good month or so?
Yeah, about a month to record 10 songs on the album. So we had material, we had some material ready, some, we were just writing in the studio. I mean, I remember waking up in the mornings, walking down the street, getting my breakfast, coming back, and by 11 o'clock, or 12, we were up and in the room just jamming, just kind of making stuff. I'd be jamming with Renee or with Alec or Logan, just coming up with ideas.
Because it's crazy, because you guys pretty much, like, you had some material down, but you would also write on the spot, right?
Yeah,
that's so gnarly.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a huge learning experience too. Yeah. I mean, being able to be at a studio that long and take your time, but also know that time is of the essence in a way. So it's kind of like you kind of have to balance that out. But very good experience.
You were in love with it. I remember you telling me, dude, Portland is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. And I haven't gotten a chance to go out there. I've been to Seattle, but not to Portland. But I remember you being like, dude, like, there's 4 seasons here, Yeah. There's trees.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing, dude. So, okay, you did that for a month. And then literally after that was when you guys went on tour, no?
I remember after that we had driven home back to McAllen, and it took us like 3 days, probably around 3 days to get there. We only had a few days of a break, and like we were on that first tour like that before that week started, like, so it was crazy. So that tour was a picnic party tour with the no, not a Scarlett Job Did Gorgeous.
Yeah, because at that time you guys had just signed to Rise, so you were touring with some of these other bands on that label at the time, right?
What Was Me.
What Was Me?
Dude,
these guys were incredible.
So I remember when I met them and like I just heard their music, I was like, wow, it's incredible.
Dude, Tyler Carter, man, that guy has an incredible voice. Like, he's so talented. I mean, that was a lot of fun. Like, they ended up progressing so much, right? Like, they ended up changing so much, but that was so fun to get to watch all of you guys. What Was Me? Who else dropped Dead Gorgeous? Which, golly, dude.
Yeah, Attila,
Sleeping with Sirens, which you used to like too.
Yeah,
I remember you used to tell me about those guys. So that tour, how long was that? Do you remember?
It was about a month. Those tours that we were doing at that time.
About a month, but it was all U.S. mostly. Like, you would cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I remember the first 2 weeks on that tour, we were like in Boise, Idaho, and I remember like I just had to get it, like, take a moment to myself because I was getting homesick. Like, I was like, man, like I was just in Portland for a month. I got home just for a few days, and now I'm back, and I haven't been home, since. And we're in Boise, and I kind of felt that, and it's kind of normal for musicians to kind of feel that the first time they're kind of going out, stuff like that. So kind of felt that, but you need to kind of go through that, to get you get used to it. It's over, and then you go home, and then
I'm sure there's a lot of struggles, like for artists who are barely starting out, where like, hey, like, we're out here, but I'm sure that in terms of like finances, like, it's tough, because like it's not like you guys are making a lot of money. It's not like you guys are getting like first class treatment or anything like that, right? I'm sure what are some of the struggles that you saw like on that first tour where you're like, holy crap, dude, like, what am I doing? Did you ever get to that point where you're like, what am I doing here?
I think it was good for me because I felt like, man, like I survived that, like, I made it, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, people, stop tours, they want to go home. I mean, it's kind of rare, but I mean, it can happen. So it kind of like toughened me up, I guess you can say, to like the reality of touring and stuff like that.
Because I mean, you guys are pretty much roughing it. Like, I remember you telling me, like, dude, we pretty much eat fast food every night. Like, we got to make sure that we budget wisely to be able to make it home.
Yeah, and back then I was so focused on like, just being smart, saving money, that I was eating at McDonald's and Taco Bell every day. I remember we're in Cali, and we had just gone inside the Taco Bell, and we had ate those little like $2 meal deals or something that they had. And I remember I went outside, and like immediately I was just like, oh God, like I just wanted to puke. Like,
dude, you guys could have recorded like another version of Super Size Me touring edition, right? Because like,
for sure,
in the documentary, the dude is eating only McDonald's, and
every
it's like
day.
You hit a depression after a while, because this
it's
isn't like
not good.
you're eating crap.
Yeah,
it's good, but you're eating like crap. Golly, dude.
what's it called? Yeah. So like now that I'm older and I'm on the road, you think twice about what you're eating because you're performing every day.
Yeah.
Mostly every day. So you need to make sure that you're taking care of your body. I think my body could have afford it when I was younger, 17,
Yeah.
18. But now it's like I just hit 30 in August. So diet is important on the road. So even if it's Subway, I mean, hey, it's something. It's better than
yeah, at
McDonald's.
least switching it up. I remember you would call me and you'd be like, dude, we're in New York and we just played in like it's like 30 degrees outside, and you'd be in basketball shorts, dude. And of course, like you'd be all like sniffling, like, bro, of course you're gonna get sick. You're in basketball shorts. Like I don't know how you would do that.
So I wasn't in Okay, I remember what you're talking about. We were in Buffalo, New York.
Yes, that's it.
The low had dropped to 12 degrees.
Golly.
And I was
and you're loading up. Yeah. Right, like you're outside carrying your gear,
and I remember I had gloves, just because it's so cold, and to get your stuff in and out. And I wasn't wearing basketball shorts that day, but I was wearing just regular skinny jeans, one pair of socks, the Vans shoes in 12 degrees, and I probably had like one jacket.
Of course,
I was kind of nervous because I was like, I remember that night we had slept in the van, and we didn't have a diesel van, so we had to turn it off. Oof. It got so cold. I mean, we're all bundled up, and like I remember, and we had talked about it. Like we wrapped the blanket over us, and like we could still see our breaths. Like
no way,
yeah, like
dude.
It was.
You guys had to cuddle and everything to.
Alec was like, I was scared that Arnie wasn't gonna wake up the next day.
Dude, I don't know how you survived that. Like how you survived that night. Like,
I mean, that's what I mean. Like when it toughens you up, like you're facing reality. Like it's.
Was there ever times, and I remember you would tell me there was times when people would invite you like over to crash at their places, no? Like there was times like, hey, y'all can crash here. I'm sure that must have been nice.
We did that all the time.
Yeah, because it's tough, dude. Like you can't be spending on hotels every night.
Yeah, sometimes they'd invite us, and there'd end up being a whole house party, and we're partying, and then we crash out. And the next day you leave, and it was a lot of those nights back then. Now, I mean, now that we're a little bit older, we're kind of more like reserved.
Yeah.
We still like to have our fun, of course, but not, kind of.
You're not the same person you were at 18, dude.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, like you're not at all the same person you were at 18.
Yeah. So now we're
hopefully not. But what would you say? So if I asked you, dude, what are some of the best stories? Like, what are some of the best things we talk about? Like you roughing it, but what are some of the best memories that you've had on tour where you're like, dude, this stuck with me and I love talking about this?
Yeah, definitely when we were younger, because I think we were just more crazier and we didn't think twice about what we were doing.
Also, like, who gets to say they were touring at 18? Like how often does that happen, dude? It's crazy.
Yeah, I was still 17.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you took off. You didn't turn 18 until August. We graduated May, and you took off to record the album, Picnic Party. You're still. So, best memories from the touring days?
I'm never gonna forget one night from the Picnic Party tour. We were in Denver, and it was Kyle's birthday from Drop Dead Gorgeous. Rest in peace. Unfortunately, he's passed. So I was very sad, when I heard the news about that. But I remember it was his birthday, and we were playing in Denver, and the whole time he was saying like, hey, like after the show, like you guys better come to my house because I'm having a party, and like I'm gonna kick your ass if you don't go. And he was awesome. I love that guy so much. So we ended up, of course we didn't have a place to stay either, so like we were kind of just gonna go there, hang out for a little bit, figure out what's going on, and then figure it out, I guess, at that point. So we went, and a very nice neighborhood. It was a big house, and it was a lot of. I mean, as soon as we got there, it was like people in the front, back, top. There's people all over the place. So we get there, we start drinking, we start hanging out, and then two of the guys from Attila, they were in the front, and I guess the neighbor, which was kind of very attractive, female.
Okay.
She was like, I guess something like having like, hey, like just come over and hang out with me, something like that. I don't know what happened, but they ended up at her house. We don't, no one knows who she is. And like I remember Chris came back, I think, from Attila, and he was like, hey dude, like come, like we're hanging out at this chick's house. So I took,
we don't know her, but we're hanging out at her place.
So like me and Alec, I don't know, I guess it was me and Alec, because I ended up going, and it was very brief, we're hanging out. And I remember we're walking back outside, and she was, we're just talking, whatever, and like this Hummer, just I see like at the end of the street, I see a car like hauling ass, and it's a Hummer, and it's hauling ass, and it pulls into the driveway really quickly, stops, and I'm ready like, what's going on, But I was super young and like naive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
and
you've had a few by this time.
This guy comes out of the car and he sees us, all of us there, like all these guys with this girl, and he's like, who the hell are these guys? And he picks up his shirt and there's a gun, and like I remember it didn't register, because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
And I remember Chris from Attila just pushed me in the back. He was like, go, go, go. Like, he just pushed me, like, run, run. So I just, like, was like that. I'm just, like, running. Like, Abandoned All Ships had an RV that was parked on the street. And I remember going around it. And, like, everyone just, like, ran. And the guy was, like, pissed. And, luckily he didn't, shoot it or anything.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, like, a show of force.
Dude, what
it was enough to, like...
Did you ever find out what happened or who that person was? Or,
no, like
what happened
literally, like after I wrapped around the RV of
You're
Abandoned,
like, I
on,
want to stick around
bus,
to find out.
I saw like everybody get in their cars. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, hey, like we're leaving. They had no idea like what had just happened. Like it was like a different house. They're like, hey, get in. We're already leaving. I'm like, yeah, we need to get the fuck out of here. Like like this guy has a gun. So and then like everyone's like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, just go. But that was
a good memory.
It was a crazy memory.
I guess you're like, dude, you're like, man, when you're looking back, you're like, I'm so glad we survived that.
It was crazy. Then from there we went to like another person's house, and like then we left there like at 5 a.m. It was a long night. I think we had like, the day off the next day. I was like, dude, that's
and
crazy.
You guys would sleep in the van?
Sometimes, like either van, people's houses, if we're lucky, hotel, like we had a good night where we made, good on merch.
Dang, bro.
Yeah. So.
That's crazy. Speaking of merch, I remember when you guys came through Austin my freshman year at State, and you remember I came up to see you guys, and that at that time you were touring with Jamie's Elsewhere and Crown the Empire, dude. When they were just starting out, Crown the Empire was there. Kid you not. They were there. How do you not remember this? How do I remember this better than you?
My memories.
I remember because they're from Dallas, right?
Yeah.
From the Dallas area?
Yeah.
Sure enough, I was doing the merch table for you guys, and Crown the Empire comes on, and I'm like, dude, who are these guys? Like, they looked really young, like,
but
just
they
like us.
weren't on the bill, right? Like they weren't on the actual
they were not on tour. They were not on the tour, but they were playing at Emos with you guys.
Wow, that's so cool.
And dude, this was before they blew up. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I was like, these guys are good. And sure enough, they ended up...
I actually like them, so like the fact that you're telling me is really cool.
I cannot believe you don't remember this. But so yeah, they played that night. They weren't on that tour, but they played that night. And is it Jamie's Elsewhere and Casino
Madrid? Yeah, they're awesome.
Dude, it's so crazy. And I remember you being like, yeah, dude, like we'll probably just take home whatever we make from the merch, because there were times when it's like if you got lucky you'd get a good guarantee, right? But sometimes like it's rough.
Yeah, especially when you're starting off.
And then it's like 6 of you guys.
Yeah.
At that time it was 6 of you guys, so
yeah,
that's so nuts.
Especially when you're starting off, you do have to depend on your merch sales because the guarantees aren't going to be so high.
Yeah.
But as you get bigger and stuff like that, then, works out pretty well.
It's crazy.
So it's definitely tough.
What was your favorite city or cities to play in when you were on the road?
Man, that's a good question. I think California was always fun. Like they're always those kids. I mean, people are so excited to just come.
Like they were more into it, or what?
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I guess it's like the Cali lifestyle. People are more social, So I always had fun, playing in Cali, Pacific Northwest, Seattle. I mean, Portland. Those cities are awesome to play at.
Is it? It's got to be like this crazy experience when you go to another city that you've never been to, and there's people that like know your music. How was that, dude?
Oh, it's cool. I mean, it's I like it when people come up and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys, then and just you can start talking with that person, and so
Because it's like this is stuff that like you wrote in like your room with your friends or like in the garage, and you have other people. They're like, dude, play this song. You're like, dude, that's crazy, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
That's a lot of fun. The Northeast is fun as well. I don't like their roads. It's stressful for me, but people do show up and have a
How
lot
come,
of fun.
dude? You drive through Dallas and Houston. What's different from over there?
I don't know what it is. Definitely a lot. Texas is flat, so that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Up there, you got a lot of mountains.
Okay, yeah.
Man, on this run recently that we had, I drove from Rhode Island all the way to Kentucky in one night, and the GPS it kind of gave me two routes, like one through Pennsylvania and Ohio, and the other one was through West Virginia. And I was like, oh, West Virginia looks faster, I'll take that. Well, I didn't know like the whole goddamn state of West Virginia is just mountains. So it was like, dude, like I was just like this for like 6 hours. Like, I mean, I swear to God, I don't think I found like one piece of stretch of road where it was flat.
That's
like
crazy,
it was like,
dude.
I don't know how long, like 4 hours or 5 hours of driving through West Virginia, but it was just all mountains.
And thankfully, you didn't have any car issues or anything like that, right?
No.
I remember you telling me this one story about the time that you guys, one of your tires popped, that you had a blowout. Tell us
Dude,
about the
I
story.
almost
Where
died.
were you?
I almost died, dude.
You said you had the window down?
Yeah.
So, okay, how did it happen, though?
Yeah, so the alignment on the van was off.
Okay.
And we were in Mississippi, and it was like 6 a.m, and like I was asleep, and like I just heard like a boom, and I was like, oh shit, like the tire had popped, and we just thought like it was like a one-off thing, so we got it fixed, and we got back on the road, and like Andrew, our bassist at the time, was driving, and I had the window down. We were already in Florida at the time, and he's like driving. He's like, dude, and I was like, what? He's like, I feel like it's gonna pop again. I'm like, no, fucking, like, are you serious? And like, I didn't know at the time, but it was the alignment that was off that was shredding the tires basically.
Oh,
so
no.
it was like, and I was like, no way. So like, I had the window down, so like I had rolled it up, and like literally just a few moments after I rolled it up, like boom. And the tire, like there was like a flap of tire that came out, and it smashed the mirror, and like it hit the window, and I was like, dude, that would have probably
No doubt.
taken me
man.
out, dude.
I would have, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was. I honestly, I think I was shaking up.
No doubt.
Yeah, I was shaking up after that because
Anybody
like,
would.
I saw like the impact, because like there was a huge mark on the
saw
window.
your life flash before your eyes.
Yeah, there was a huge mark on the window that I was on, and it was just a few moments after I had rolled it up.
So what'd you guys do at that point? You called AAA? What do you do?
Yeah, it was some shit like that. It was a long day. I remember we had to cancel like 3 days.
Oh, you had to cancel?
Yeah, we had to cancel like
Oh,
3 days
no.
of tour just to get it fixed
Yeah.
and all that. So that was fun.
That's freaking crazy, dude. But I guess like you said, like those experiences looking back, you're like, man, like that stuff like really kind of, if you can survive that, man, you're like, now being on the road, you're more experienced, you're much wiser, you know.
Yeah, like going on the road now, traveling in general, like some people can kind of get antsy, like just about being on the highways like that, and when I was younger that was the case, but now I feel very relaxed
Yeah. Also,
being on the road like that.
it's probably easier for you guys to make more money now, in terms of like now you have like steady jobs and stuff like that. At that point, you were 18 years old.
Yeah, so we were very blessed to all be working and stuff like that. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about it. I'm actually getting a new SJC kit soon, so I'm very
Dude,
excited.
what?
Yeah, it's gonna be like over the top. So like I'm so like
I would never forget
excited.
when you would get like your shipments to the house, and you'd be like, dude, and you would send me pictures
Oh
with your
yeah, dude, for sure.
with your little camera phone.
Yeah, so
Golly,
SJC
dude.
is currently working on a little something for me right now, which I'm
Legit.
super excited. And yeah, we're just very blessed to be able to work and do this at the same time.
Love it.
So it's
I
awesome.
love it. Who are some of your influences musically? Like, why'd you start playing drums besides Aaron Gillespie?
Definitely one of my main ones as far as drumming goes. I was thinking about it.
It was thanks to you and Lunchbox. Thanks to you guys that I knew about
Rudy, what's up, man?
Rudy,
if you watch this,
show yourself. Show yourself, dude.
Yeah, dude, come visit.
You need to come down, please.
Yeah, so, man, I mean, when I started, I remember listening to, Linkin Park, of course. Hybrid Theory was my shit. I remember getting into Rise Against. They're going to be on that tour with Blink-182.
Yeah,
Blink-182 just announced. So I'm very happy to see that because, like, I've known they've been in the game for so long. And
they've been around forever.
Yeah, and I remember I kind of got it, like, the underground rock scene was Rise Against, Hawthorne Heights, Silverstein. That's when I got more into, like, the emo phase with those bands. But, yeah, I mean, that was like, what, 7th grade, 8th grade? And then I remember getting into really heavy music, like Waking the Cadaver, As Blood Runs Black. And it was awesome because, like, you know, I would through that, I was able to learn so much about, you know, just drumming because they do so much. So it was good to listen to that, but also, you know, Under Oath and, like, Silverstein and stuff like that. So
Seosin. Do you remember what was the album? It was a self-titled, no? It's a self-titled album.
So. Yeah,
the one with the Beetle on the cover.
There you go.
Dude. So, okay. Aaron Gillespie, I still remember those days, dude. If you could tour with any band now, who would you say? I mean, I would love to tour with this band.
God, these are tough questions.
You already got to do that with Scarlett Drive. I remember. We used to talk about Corey LaQuay, how incredibly talented that guy is.
Yeah,
and then we got to see them at STC when they played here, and then you ended up touring with them, which is crazy how, you know.
Yeah, I think Corey LaQuay was such a big influence on me because I saw firsthand every night how he would give it his all. It didn't matter if he was sick, if he was tired. I remember one night in Jacksonville, I remember he was feeling sick. I was even trying to be like, hey, dude, let me know if you need fucking water, you know, I'll try to get stuff for you, you know. And you know, he's like, thanks, man. And like, I see him perform that night. He killed it. Like, and immediately after, he goes to the trash can to throw up because he was sick. And I was like, wow, like, I wish like, you know, I have that, you know, dude, that heart to do that, you know.
Without a doubt, man, that dude is talented as hell.
Absolutely.
So fun to watch him. So okay, Scarlett Drive, that was awesome. And then you dropped it gorgeous. You guys got to play with Hawthorne for that was a small section of a tour, no? With Hawthorne Heights?
Yeah, that was.
Or was it just one show?
It was like a one show.
It was one show.
Yeah,
okay.
And man, that was incredible because I got to see the first band that actually got me into music. Like, being on the side stage and watching them, it was just incredible, dude. I wish you were there.
Seriously, because I mean, we were 12 years old listening to them, and then fast forward a couple years, and you're on the same show with them. That's gotta be an incredible feeling, dude.
Yeah, I think that I remember that day and I was like, wow, that was like a real highlight of my career, just being able to be there with one of the first bands that got me into this, and you know, so that was incredible.
I'll still jam those guys to this day, man.
I just saw them on a flyer today for something.
Yeah, they're touring with their Armor for Sleep.
Really?
They're touring with Armor for Sleep.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure. Dude, Armor for Sleep's new album is incredible. Have you listened to it yet or no?
No, I didn't even know they had a new album.
Dude, they released a new album, The Rain Museum. So good, man. I love those guys back in middle school, you know, 7th, 8th grade. What to Do When You Are Dead was one of my all-time favorite albums.
That was a good album.
The Rain Museum, the one that they just released. And I got to see them a year ago in Austin. Do you remember that? Yeah. It was their 15th anniversary tour that had gotten postponed twice because of COVID.
Wow.
The show was incredible, man. The place was packed. It just felt so good. I was tipsy, so it was, you know, it's just one of those where like, everything is right.
Yeah.
You know, everything is right. Dude, that's amazing. So I know it's a hard question. It puts you on the spot, but you know, besides, who would you want to tour with?
I didn't answer that question. Okay. Man. I would probably have to say Under Oath.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, because they're out of all the influences.
I mean, that'd be incredible,
the
dude. Getting to tour with those guys and getting to see their show. I mean, we saw them at. You were with me, right? Here when they played to Las Palmas Race Park.
Yeah.
You were with me. That it was them, and it was August Burns Red, and it was Seosin.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you were with me that night.
Yes, I was there. I remember that. But were you there with me when we were at Warped Tour?
No, I didn't go.
Who was that? Me and Patrick? I think I went with Patrick.
Was it? Maybe.
Yeah.
In San Antonio.
Yeah. And I actually.
And how was that one?
It was funny because that's where I actually met Logan for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, Warped Tour. Little did I know I'd be in their band.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, so I saw Alec and Logan, and
shout out to Logan.
Yeah.
And Alec too. Shout out to all the guys, man.
Yeah.
All the guys in the band. Moses is the only guy I haven't met yet.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I met
dude.
Mosey.
Talented guy, talented dude. Eventually, I'll get a chance to
Yes.
say hi to him. But the other guys, man, I know them for a while. Good
Yeah.
while.
Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But we're gonna try to maybe plan like an end of the year show here at Cino Ray.
You need to, man.
So if we do, of course, I want you to come by. And,
I'll be out there. I'll be out there. You need to. I was here when you guys last played. Shoot, it's been a long time. But do you remember when you guys did like some Halloween show at Cino Ray?
It was like a Christmas show.
Was it Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I think it was a Christmas show.
Yeah, that was 2019.
I remember I was chilling with you guys outside in the Suburban.
Yeah.
And man, that was so much fun. It's been a while since you guys have played. Y'all need to throw a show here.
Yeah, in McAllen. Yeah, it's it gets a little bit more complicated. I'm not trying to like sound like a diva or anything, but like once you have booking agents and like managers, they have their inputs, as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're there for, They're to help you through the process.
Yeah, so they're helping us getting shows
like
up north in big cities and
Yeah.
Tours, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we'll mention like, hey, if we want to do it at the end of the year show, like let's see what we can do. And I know, and I remember 2019 we also made McAllen a destination for the tour as well that we were on with Sleepwaker and Somewhere to Call Home. They're both like new metalcore bands. Sleepwaker's from Michigan. Somewhere to Call Home is from New York. So it's kind of cool to kind of direct a tour where it comes to McAllen. That was the second to the last day. The last day of the tour was San Antonio, so we actually drove up to San Antonio just to play the last show with them, and then we just came back home to McAllen.
That's incredible. Speaking of bands from Michigan, do you remember when we played with La Dispute at the Incubator?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, I look back and I'm like, bro, like we had no clue like how incredibly talented those guys were going to be, because I didn't know much about them. And we see them go on and we're like, bro, what the heck? Like, dude, I was just blown away.
Do you remember, it was one of the times that we opened up for them here at the Incubator, and like the guitarist like cut his finger or his hand, and he was just bleeding and he's still playing. And I remember, like, bro.
The dude's got the mic in his mouth and he's just like screaming without his hands. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
was like, bro, what does this guy do?
Holy shit.
It was incredible, man. The times we had with Far From Peril, that little band, dude, we had some good times. The Chariot, when we opened up for them at the Incubator as well. Greeley Estates was on that bill.
Jesus.
The Color Morale. Those guys, dude. So much fun. So much fun, dude. But anyway, I want to talk about the new tracks.
Oh, yes.
I've heard some really good stuff, dude. And I get really lucky. I think I'm really lucky that, I get to hear the songs before everybody else does, right? But so, like, when you guys had released Friction and Obsessive, I was like, dude, I can't wait for this stuff to be released. And then you guys ended up recording the music videos, which were awesome. So in terms of total new tracks that you guys have, like for your new set and stuff like that, do you know how many it is?
We have a lot, dude.
You've got Friction, you've got Obsessive. It's called Obsessive, right?
Yeah. Talk to Me, which is one of my all-time favorites. Awesome.
And then Witching Hour, which was just released. The music video was recently released not that long ago, which is also awesome.
I guess we released
4 new tracks.
Far. Yeah, we have.
Okay.
Man, we have Crawl is another song that is new, and we played it on our run recently. So New York.
Is that the one you just showed me before?
No.
The one that you just showed me?
That was like brand new.
Okay. That's still
that's
still not to be released yet or anything like that.
Yeah, that stuff was recorded in August.
Okay.
And,
so Crawl is one of the newer tracks, and you played it live. And how did it go? Like, how was the reception?
It was awesome. I think people really kind of react to Moses' vocals.
That guy's so talented, man. He really is.
Yeah. So it's just awesome, seeing that, like, seeing the crowd look at him and, like, kind of see what he's doing. And but the songs are just so much fun to play. Like, I'm having a blast playing these songs live. And,
yeah, I can only imagine.
So.
And you're just doing your thing. You're doing what you love, and you get to do it still across the U.S. It's amazing.
Incredible. Sometimes I think about it, like, that's just crazy.
So Crawl is one of the tracks that you guys haven't gotten a chance to record yet?
We haven't released it yet.
Okay.
But it's on, it's on our live set now. I mean, that's probably going to be a song that we're going to be playing live often now. Break Me is another one that hasn't been released yet, but it's also in our live set as well.
Man, I'm excited to hear these, dude.
Yeah.
Golly.
I think we have, from aside from Friction and Obsessed, man, there has to be like 11 songs that are recorded aside from Friction and Obsessive.
Okay. Because you guys still play some of your older tracks too, right?
No.
No?
We haven't. So
Lost in Existence, you still play, no?
We played it, I believe, last year.
Okay. At Welcome to Rockville?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe we've played that song.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have so much new material that we can't help but
you have enough tracks to just play your new stuff.
Yeah.
For your whole set.
So I mean, you never know. Like there might be a time where we might throw in Lost in Existence, Dude, You're Being That Guy from the very first album.
Yeah. Sure. If people ask, you guys will play them or no?
Yeah. We always kind of see the reaction on social media. As well. We do want to do our thing, but at the same time, I feel like you do want to keep them in, people in consideration as well, because I still like playing the songs. I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me or anything. So, but we're just so excited about the new stuff, and so we've been playing that,
and rightfully so, dude. It's some really good stuff, really good material. I'm excited for the direction that it's headed.
Thank you.
So in terms of recording, are you guys finished right now? You mentioned you don't have any plans for the rest of the year. You'll probably wait until early next year, or what? Or just kind of play it by ear?
Yeah, so there is a tour in the works for early next year. I can't disclose who it's going to be with yet. I'll probably tell you after.
But at least you're going to be out there setting dates. You'll be playing.
Yeah, actually in January, we're probably going to be in Nashville recording more songs.
Nice.
But yeah, we want to be releasing songs at a steady pace. Just
y'all are gonna turn country. How much time you spend in Nashville?
So the last time that we were in Nashville, it was a lot of fun because we actually, aside from being working with our producer Andrew, who's amazing, love his style.
Shout out to Andrew, the producer.
Yeah, Andrew Bayless, he's awesome. Aside from working with him, we were actually this last time we were actually able to work with two country vocal producers, and Andrew was like, hey, they're here if you guys want to work with them,
and you're like, hell yeah, let's take that opportunity.
I mean, why not? So getting together with everyone was so incredible. Like just the amazing ideas that everyone has. I'm just like, wow, like this is so incredible to be in a room with like smart, just awesome people that
people who not only are extremely talented but also have some really good experience and have a background with working with some probably really good artists out there. I mean, in Nashville, there's a lot of artists that go out there and they're just extremely talented, and that's where they get their start.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Whitworth, one of the producers that we worked with there, I think he had done work with Danny Worsnop from Asking Alexandria. So it was just incredible just to be working with these guys, and it's so awesome.
That's crazy, dude. I love it. I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah, I think these 3 songs that we did in August have to be my most proudest moment as far as writing goes, because like everything just I don't think I could be happier with the outcome on this last session that we did in Nashville. So very excited when we start releasing those. Good.
Yeah, man. Excited. We'll be on the lookout. For tour dates. What's on your playlist right now? What are you listening to these days?
Man, this year Bad Omens had released an album earlier in the year, and man, I thought it was incredible. And we actually got to play with them in July.
Oh shit!
In Louisville.
Nice.
It was that DW Presents company I was telling you about. They were having like a 1-year reunion show.
Okay.
And it was there in Louisville, and we got asked to play, and we were like, hell yeah! So watching them live, and it was their live sound is incredible, by the way.
Gotcha.
The album is incredible. It's called The Death of Peace of Mind.
Okay. Yeah. By Bad Omens.
Yeah. And then I think before that, I was kind of listening to Spirit Box. I actually have a band that I don't know if a lot of people know about that I listen to a lot. Don Broco.
Don Broco. I was just about to ask, are you still listening to Don Broco?
Yeah,
because
dude.
You got those guys on repeat.
It's so refreshing because like they're like high energy, but it's kind of like upbeat.
They have
like,
a really good sound for sure.
Yeah, like it's something that really touched, like, you know, kind of touched me in a way that not a lot of other music has. So it was incredible, and they were actually supposed to play at Louder Than Life Festival, and they had to cancel. Dang. And I was so bummed out because that was like one of the main bands that I actually wanted to see.
There'll be hopefully other opportunities where you guys will maybe coincide with those dudes.
Yeah, actually.
Where are they from, by the way?
England.
Okay.
Yeah, they're from England. They have awesome. Like every time they come to the U.S., I mean,
they have a solid sound,
yeah.
and I know them because of you. I mean, you used to listen to them so much.
Actually, some of my friends that I used to tour with, they did I believe a U.S. tour with them. The Plot in You.
The Plot in You is still around?
Yeah.
Wow, dude, I had no idea. See, some of the stuff like I really don't listen to anymore. So it's like that genre in general. I'm like every once in a while I'll listen to, you know, some of the old stuff that we used to listen to. Like I can always go back to Scarlett Drive. Like She Watched the Sky EP, like that stays on, like for sure. While I'm at the office, I'll play that or something like that. But so okay, they toured with The Plot in You, and then
I mean, me and Logan actually wanted to catch, like we were just like, dude, we should just go to Houston, just go watch him. And you know, they traveling abroad is always difficult. I haven't done it myself, but I can imagine how it can be really hard. And you know, especially, you know, I think there was some one of the members had family issues, or maybe in regards to like medical. I'm not sure, but you know, had to cancel.
Dude. It happens.
You know, it's hard. You know,
for sure. I mean, if it's traveling abroad, you know, is a challenge, and you have to prep. Imagine touring abroad, like that's just crazy. I mean, all the things that you have to think about, your gear and things like that.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for the challenge for sure, but I know it's not going to be easy. So but I'm ready for it if I get called.
That'd be awesome, dude. That'd be awesome. Okay, so Don Broco, Bad Omens, Spirit Box. Are you still listening to any of the music that we used to listen to back then? Any of the OGs?
There's sometimes that I do. Oh yeah, I mean, there's sometimes I'll bust out Under Oath or like a Scarlett Drive and stuff like that. But I've been kind of on the lookout for what's new, what's kind of like up and coming. You know, Polyphia is another band that I listen to.
Dude, yeah, they're incredibly talented.
I mean, music has just progressed so much. And don't get me wrong, that music is great, and it's always going to be nostalgic for like people like you and me. But the stuff that people are coming out with now is just incredible. Like the talent that you see is just like, wow, like, you know, it gets me back into like, hey, you know, let's do this.
Without a doubt.
Thing, so.
Dance Gavin Dance, that's another one I can go back to. Dance Gavin Dance, their self-titled album, dude, was so good.
Is that the one with Johnny Craig?
No, I forget the singer's name.
Kurt.
I forget his name, but it's the one that has the tracks Alex English, Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most. Do you remember those?
Kurt Travis?
I think that's the guy. Yeah, I think that's the guy.
Yeah.
And I saw them. Didn't you guys play with them here at Cine? I remember seeing them.
No, I know what you're talking about. No,
and it was right around that time when they had just released that album and they were touring for that album, because I remember seeing them play Alex English live, and it was just incredible.
I remember that was a really cool show.
But for some reason I don't know why I'm thinking that you guys were also on that show, but yeah, that's one of the bands that I can come back to, and that show. That album was so good. Are you still listening to what is it, Slaves? Johnny Craig's stuff.
Yeah, you know, he had I think he released it during the pandemic year, but he had like his own like single album without like a band, and I thought that was, you know, really good. Even Slaves with the new they're not
Rain
slaves
City.
anymore. Yeah, they're not slaves anymore.
I think it's Rain City,
they changed their name. Yeah, Rain City Drive.
Rain City Drive.
Yeah, so even that new singer's killing it. So they have a few songs that have been going on Octane Radio on Sirius XM. Another band I was going to tell you about. Have you heard of Dayseeker?
Dayseeker. I've heard the name, but I don't know if I've listened to their music. What's the style?
I don't know. Just it kind of reminds me of like a new age, like post post-hardcore like kind of band.
Is there screaming or just clean singing? Or what?
It's mostly clean singing,
Okay,
but there's
okay.
like some screams. That's what kind of reminds me.
I'll
like,
have to check it out.
oh yeah, their stuff is really good. Their stuff is on Octane. That's another band
Okay.
like I would love to tour with. Rain City Drive.
By the way, have to talk about you guys being on Octane, and that's freaking awesome. What is it like hearing yourself on XM radio, dude?
It's crazy. I remember, just recently, me and Logan were driving back from Houston, and it was at the time that they were putting us on it was called the Octane test drive.
Okay.
And so like they put like 3 songs. People kind of vote, which ones they like. Friction did very well the first time.
Okay.
Wishing Hour still did good. But the crowd kind of like those. Oh, man, I can't remember the name, but it was a good song. There was like another band that was on there. But nonetheless, Witching Hour was on the radio, and we're driving back from Houston, and just hearing it like live is like, what? Like that's me on the drums right there. It's crazy.
I know, dude. It's amazing. And you guys have made it onto the Billboard like the rock charts several times, right? Mm-hmm. Do you ever like keep track of that, or do you like try not to? I mean, do you feel like sometimes it's like, man, I need to not, because it's gonna get to my head or whatever?
No, I mean, as long as you always know to be humble. I mean, so like
you've never been somebody to be a diva or a big headed or anything like that. But I mean, in any, you have your moments. You have your moment. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, like, you're not a jerk that you're like kind of trying to like pretend something to be something you're not.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I just feel like being genuine is just the way to go. I've always felt like that, and it was really exciting to see my music on the Billboard charts. I mean, that was like, wow, like that's just another milestone. Like,
it's incredible.
I'll get to
it's awesome.
Tell my kids maybe one day.
For sure. They'll be like, all right, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
Yeah.
Dude.
So it was. I remember Friction, and I was so like surprised. I was like, wow, like that's my song right there on the charts.
I love it.
So Friction, Obsessive got on the charts too. I think Obsessive did ranked a little bit higher than Friction actually.
Okay.
And then even Witching Hour recently got on the Billboard charts as well. I think Talk to Me was the only one that didn't hit the Billboard charts, but it's okay.
People don't know what's good.
I still love that song so much.
I kid you not, dude. Like, all of the new tracks I love. Obsessive and Talk to Me are probably my favorites. I'll listen to that when I'm at the gym, dude. It's so good.
I love playing Talk to Me live. That song is so much fun.
I love it, dude. I'm excited. I want to see them live. I hope I get a chance to. I mean, I hope that you guys will schedule something down here. But either way, if you do a tour, you'll probably come through Austin or San Antonio or Houston at least, right? At least one of those.
You never know. We can always try to maybe even route it here to Sino Array again.
That'd be awesome, dude.
I remember Frankie, the drummer of Sleepwaker. He, if I'm not mistaken, he was just like, man, the sound is awesome here. Like, it's a big stage,
At CNET?
Yeah, good crowd, and it's kind of cool to like show other people like kind of what we have here in the Valley. So,
dude, JJ and I were talking about the other day. Do you remember when we played with Broken Side? With Far From Peril
yes,
at CNET?
I remember they were drunk on the side of the
dude, and my dad was there. Do you remember he was helping us load up?
Was he mad?
He wasn't mad. He was just like, But dude, we were talking about how that was one of the craziest shows, man. It was so fun. There's a lot of people out there that came out to see Broken Side. And was it Kill Paradise who was also on that bill? Do you remember that? It was Broken Side and somebody else, but I can't remember if it was Kill Paradise or if it was another band. You might remember, but I didn't really know these bands because I didn't really listen to that kind of stuff. You're kind
of bringing up a lot of shows like I kind of like don't remember.
Dude, you're lucky to remember what you had to eat yesterday. It was Broken Side, and so I'm pretty sure we were talking about. I think he said Medor was on that bill. The Requested was on that bill. Dude, it was one of the coolest shows that we got to do.
I remember like before the Incubator shut down, like there were like some of the biggest shows that were being thrown there. I remember Asking Alexandria. I remember
they played the Incubator. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, dude, it was.
I wasn't a big fan of that band, but
it was literally their album release for Stand Up and Scream, which blew them up.
So I remember them playing at Never Say Never. I remember that one.
Yeah. That was really big for them as well. It was a big show. But they were playing like a few years before that, the Incubator on that album release.
Shows at the Incubator that were big. The one that we did with the Chariot was awesome.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember Confide came down and we played with them at the Chariot.
You're lying.
Dude, how do you not remember?
Oh yeah,
this,
I do remember. I do remember. I talked to the drummer that night.
Confide, that was, oh man, those guys were so good, dude. Confide. Who else played at the Incubator? We had some really good shows there. Do you remember when we played with Ships and Sailors in Harlingen?
Yeah,
that band.
That was really cool.
Ships and Sailors, and who was the other? I Am Alpha and Omega.
Yeah,
those guys were awesome.
I remember them.
I remember they coming up to us and they were like, dude, like, you guys don't realize that, like, we played with, like, guys that are, like, twice your age and they're not nearly as good. And when you hear that from, like, dudes that are touring,
oh yeah,
I'd be like, bro,
comment.
what? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, dude, are you serious?
I'm like, bro, shut up. I'm like, bro, stop. Like, bro, like, stop. But just an example of, like, those experiences when we were kids and we get to play with some of these dudes that, I mean, they were just so talented and so good. I remember Ships and Sailors, you telling me about that band. You're like, dude, these guys are good. Check them out. And sure enough, they were so fun to watch, dude. We played some really cool shows in Harlingen, San Benito, the V. Do you remember that place?
Yeah.
The V.
Didn't we play at some place called the Rialto?
We played the Rialto. That was Ships and Sailors and I Am Alpha and Omega, the Rialto.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
And that was so cool. It was a little theater, right?
Yeah.
Dude, we were talking also about, I always tell these people, like, they don't remember that, but do you remember there was a venue in Mission that was a skate park?
Yes.
Do you remember that? Remember the name?
No.
Is it the Arc? I think it's the
remember.
Arc. No,
my cousin actually lived like a block away from
really?
it, so that's how
do
I
you remember it's
it.
like they had like the ramps and the half pipes and it was
a big
just
place.
The plywood.
Yeah,
dude, like, that was amazing. Didn't we play there with My Children, My Bride?
Yeah,
we opened up for My Children, My Bride at that venue.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
That
was another really cool band, dude.
That was a cool venue.
That was an amazing venue. I don't know why we didn't do more shows. Like, people didn't use it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it closed down.
Yeah,
but that was another really cool one. Yeah, dude. But you're right. The Incubator had so many good shows, and so many good bands come through there. Do you remember Skyscrapers Walk Among Us?
Yeah, I was about to mention them. Like, I remember that's a band that I used to play with.
They did the Incubator, and they also did
VFW.
VFW, yeah. Their drummer was incredible,
yeah,
dude.
awesome.
They had some really, really cool stuff. Yeah, dude, we played some really random shows, too. Like,
oh, yeah, you never know.
Probably one of the most random venues. I don't know if you remember this, but we played that one venue called The Garage, and it was like in Far. And it used to be a strip club. Yeah. You remember that? And they had the poles on the...
Yeah, I remember.
Lay in Ruins was there that night. Those guys played as well.
I think, yeah. I think I was actually talking
Nick might remember if I asked him. Nick, you remember playing at this place called The Garage? That place was... It's just like some rinky-dink place.
I remember, I think I mentioned that venue to Logan, and he's like, yeah, dude, I remember, like, busting not busting it, but like hitting his guitar on those poles because you were trying to move. And
freaking Logan, that's what he gets for pulling all those stunts.
So I don't know if you banged your guitar on there, but Logan did.
Dude, I mean, it was right there, so I'm sure a lot of people did. But those were some fun times, dude. Like, we didn't care, right? We were just like, dude, let's play.
Yeah,
let's play. We had some really fun times, but I mean, dude, it's awesome. I'm so glad to see that after all these years, you're still playing drums.
That's crazy.
You're still playing drums, and you're doing it, outside of Texas.
I didn't think I'd be doing it for this long, but
I'm happy that you are, dude, because it goes to show that, like, I mean, obviously you guys have put in a lot of work. Like, you guys have put in a lot of work. If it wasn't for that, you probably wouldn't be doing this, right? Like, you guys are passionate about it, and you like doing it, and I think that's freaking awesome. It's really kind of a reflection of all the effort that you guys have done. So I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations, man. The tracks are awesome. Looking forward to hearing more. Looking forward to hopefully hearing about a tour and the tour dates and stuff like that. You need to run into Scarlett Drive again, and and all the other bands that you run into. But yeah, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing what you love, and I love that, and I respect it, and it's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, dude. So what are the things that we can look forward to? You said a new tour in the spring, hopefully, early, maybe January.
I'm thinking
and maybe that's TBD, right?
Maybe around, nothing's official,
right,
or anything,
right.
But, I think it might be around February.
Okay, so either way, hopefully
so
early next year.
Yeah, if it does happen, we'll make sure that we get that information out. with all the details. And yeah, January we're recording more music. So I think just kind of stay on the lookout just for new music coming out pretty constantly. That's what we're trying to do. Just stay in the game and be active.
Yeah, for sure. No, dude, I love it. And now, I mean, really, you got a time to like kind of just relax, especially from probably all the driving you did in these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, every time we go home from a tour, like I take like.
By the way, I saw
2
that
days.
I saw that you and Logan, you were supposed to come back, and then you and Logan ended up going to Vegas.
Oh yeah.
How was that? Why was it?
So,
you were like, hey, dude, let's do it.
Dude,
Spontaneous or what?
Yeah, like we're at Louder Than Life Festival, and like it was like day 2 or day 1. I forgot what day it was, but we're like walking in, and Logan's like, he comes up to me, he's like, hey, do you want to go to Vegas like next week? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Logan. And like I didn't know that like we were only gonna have like 2 days at home before we like kind of went to Vegas. Yeah. So like I was like, man, like I mean, I love going to Vegas. We actually got to see Godsmack, dude.
Oh shit.
I was like front row.
Golly.
The singer was like right in front of me.
Dude, that band is huge.
That production, I was like, wow. Like it was, I mean, the pyrotechnics are going off, like the fire, and I felt all of it. So it was awesome.
Dude, that's so legit. So you guys just went out to go see Godsmack and just kind of spent a couple days there, or what?
Yeah, gamble a little bit,
cool.
have fun.
Cool.
I don't think anybody won anything. I think we all kind of like the last time we all went, like we all like won some money, so it was a lot of fun. It was still fun, but we didn't win this time.
Dude, you've won money before? Like how much?
Oh, dude, like there was one time I went to Vegas and like I literally only had $40 and I put it on the craps table and I just said, like, screw it, and I came out with like $600.
Shut
like
up.
Within like
dude,
3 hours, I think.
That's gnarly.
Because it's really cool because like in Vegas they come up to you and you don't have to pay for your drinks, so they'll just be like, what do you want, just get a beer or whatever, and they'll keep coming to you. Obviously you want to tip them, of course. But I was just having fun, and like the dealers actually help you out, and you can tip the dealers. And
gotcha.
So that night I came up like with $600, and I was like, oh my god, like I want to do this again tomorrow.
Dude, that's legit. Hang on a second, let me plug in my computer before it dies. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, you're good.
Dude, $600. That's freaking crazy. I think my camera turned off. Oh well. But I love it, dude. Well, that's exciting. I'm glad you're back. Looking forward to some new stuff with Scarlett O'Hara. New tour dates, new music. But dude, thanks so much for hanging out, dude. I'm so glad we got to finally do it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Sorry
for postponing for a little bit. It's a crazy schedule.
Life happens. Shit happens. You're on the road.
Yeah.
That's cool. But we made it happen.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, we've got some really good stuff. I think that's a good place to call it a day. So we'll go ahead and do that. Thank you guys so much for listening to the We're From the Valley podcast. This has been Arnie Bernal talking about his crazy experiences. Appreciate you guys' support. If you get a chance to, check out the YouTube channel, subscribe to us if you haven't gotten a chance to do that. Give us a follow, give us a like. Appreciate all the support. Thank you all so much for listening. Y'all take care and have a good evening.